bag, and we said we wanted to change because when you look at African American people in the food market, we only have pictures of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben.
Yep.
There's nothing to show where we're going at for as people of today, of this generation, of this culture, and people that's moving the culture beyond. And hip-hop is growing. It's the number one music genre in the world, when back in the days they said it wouldn't last 2 to 3 to 5 years. And now we're at a level to where the world understands what hip-hop is, and for us to be able to put from Romeo to myself started on the bags with Rap Snacks, and now to be able to put Carly D, the Migos,
yep.
Our next venture, which is about to hit real soon, putting the icon brands of Rap Snacks, putting all these iconic people on the bags next. So, we've come a long way. People don't know we've been around at least 20 years.
Wow.
And it's a dream to be able to be in Walmart and to be worldwide now. And we come from the mom and pop stores, just starting on the corner the same way I started with the music, hitting the mom and pop stores and putting chips into the stores. Well, we never owned that. Like, if you look at from Cheetos to Frito-Lays, they're billion-dollar companies.
Yep.
But it never had faces like us that be able to control the distribution, to put distributions of African American and minority products inside of stores, which is incredible for us to be able to do that now as an African American minority owned business and have distribution and national distributions of our product. And so, we're starting with the chips, with the Rap Snacks, and we're going to open up. We're coming with Rap Noodles next.
Oh wow!
And we're just going to open it up and hopefully inspire other minority business owners that if we could do it, they could do it.
Awesome. And what was the tipping point in your mind that you were able to get it into Walmart? So what made it viable? So I know that you mentioned that, hip hop's at the level where people recognize. Was it your endorsement brand? What was it that was the tipping point?
Yeah, well, you know what? They know I'm not going to give up, and I think if you believe in your product, I went in there first with the diversity, saying we have no African American minority-owned business of product in Walmart. Like, it's all people that look like us. They might have a product, but they're the face to the product.
Yeah. Nobody
owns it. And I showed them that it's a shortage. Like, why not? How come, if you look at the first billionaires, it's Johnson & Johnson. It was a black-owned product, hair care product. But in the food market, we have none.
Yep. Makes sense.
And so I showed them to where, it's a problem. We need to fix that because we have a lot of great ideas, but we can't get the distribution of our product.
Yeah.
So we end up having to sell it off or give it to somebody and be the face of it. So we definitely are changing that. God is good. It comes with education. Me going to school to understand the business, taking a lot of business courses, the same way I did in the music.
Yep.
To get a 80-20 distribution deal of music, and now to be able to own and control your own product is incredible.
So, it's phenomenal.
So
it's phenomenal.
Yes.
So would you say you took the principles of the music industry and just applied it to another sector? Or what were the gaps you had to fill in order to parlay or transition from one market to another?
Well, I took business, basic business, saying that if you believe in something and you market it and you promote it, like nobody didn't expect rap snacks to be around 20 years later.
Yep.
Because they didn't understand what it was. It's, but you got to look at our product is the best. When you open a bag up, the way it tastes, you don't have no other product like it. Our flavors are different than what's on the shelves right now. And that's what me and Romeo talk about. Like, we got the best of both worlds. When you look at from the packaging to the flavors, because once somebody open that bag up, they have to know that this is, the taste have to sell it. The product has to be A1.
Yeah.
And so, you don't have a honey barbecue. Like when you put out the Romeo bag of chips, you don't have a honey barbecue. It's just different from what Frito-Lays and Cheetos have out there. So we have great flavors in the bags. So when somebody tastes it, so when you come back and you get the Migos and you get the Carly B's, the chips. When you go into Walmart, you're gonna say sour cream with a dab of ranch. Mm-hmm. It's a part of the millennials. It's a part of what's going on now. It makes the Cheetos and the Frito-Lays, they just regular.
Yep.
They just regular. So the same thing we doing with the noodles. If you look at it, now we have the Rap Snack noodles, and our first flavors is the gumbo and chicken.
Wow.
You never heard of that.
Specific.
So we combining these great flavors together, and that's what the consumers are buying into, and the packaging is great, and it comes from a minority-owned business.
Yep.
Which now we can feed our people with these products. We can educate the next generation, and that's what we are doing. We're not just creating companies. We're saying we're making money. Everything that we make, we're able to put money back into the community, and it's all about educating the next generation. My thing is focusing on the young kids, saying if I could program them with the education and the business. So we got a program for Rap Snack. It's called Boss Up. So we teach all these inner city kids and college kids how to be entrepreneurs.
Yep. So
it's important. I mean, because you got to imagine, you go to school like even though I went to school and I went to college, they didn't. It was nothing that really taught me entrepreneurship and economics. So those are things that I'm really focusing on, with the younger kids right now. So by the time they get to college, they know, let me take an economic course, along with being an athlete. So if you get something, you got to know what to do with it. So it's all about bossing up with Rap Snacks.
Nice. Okay. And so just kind of building on that. So when I speak to a number of business owners, as you said, the product is very important. But in terms of the ratio of the spend when you're starting out, what do you think people should make the most investment in terms of, should it be marketing? Should it be product development? Should it be business development? Should it be, what would you say is the most important thing to focus on?
Well, first, without the product development, you have no business.
Yep.
So the first thing is you have to develop your product. That should be your first investment. And then you need to know you don't have to market the product to get people to buy it. Because even with us being in Walmart, we still had to market because you want that product to sell off the shelf so they can replenish with more product. So, that was the whole thing with me and my partner, James Lindsay. We were like, you know what, let's make sure that we have the best tasting product, and we have to get out here and market this, to the world. And I think that's what people, they're not committed to their brands. You have to be committed to your brand. And you got to put the work, the sacrifice, and you got to get it out there.
Yeah. So do you believe, so in terms of, it's really powerful how you're connecting the business to almost like a servant leadership mentality in terms of using that framework as a tool to attract people to understand that they can do it too, and give them the skills or awareness of the skills that they need for entrepreneurship. So with that in mind, would you say that has been kind of the driving force of what's been making your businesses successful, or is it something else?
Yeah, you know what? My thing is I want to create more African American and minority owned, whether females, business owners. So my thing is to them, showing them what I'm doing and saying, look, get you some product. If I could do it, you could do it. Like start small, build. Rap Snacks didn't come from overnight. This is a 20-year business.
Mm.
So think about it. Like, if you really want to be successful, I know that everybody can't just go out and quit their jobs. I'm not telling people to quit their jobs. I'm saying have a job, pay your bills, but make your business you to where you find something that you love and create a brand and a product that you can invest in and start small, and it could get you out of whatever the situation you're in. When you start thinking like, okay, you know, this is my job, but this is my work.
Yeah.
My work is I got to invest in my product, in my business. And I think, you know, if you don't have that entrepreneurship mindset, you're going to be a worker.
Yeah.
For life. And so, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a job and saying that, okay, I'm going to do my best, but you also got to find something that's going to take you out of this situation if you want another lifestyle.
Yep.
You know, so that's my thing. If I can motivate and inspire the next generation to go and do what I'm doing, then I feel like I did my part. Because I'm showing people that, you know, I come from poverty. I never had nothing. I want to give my people the blueprint so we can inspire and help the next generation. I think it does. Now, I don't want to be there by myself.
Yeah.
I want thousands of successful business where people say, man, I was inspired by P. You know, he did it. I could do it. You know, I want to be able to sit at those tables and you know, that's why I have the Master P Masterclass. So
Yeah.
I have a whole educational class that I do in different cities that we talk about ideas and how to bring those ideas to life.
Wow. So talking about the Master P Masterclass, and just in terms of the fact that, you know, particularly with the internet now, not that you seem to needed it before to go viral, but the world is now, you know, everybody's oyster in many ways. So do you have plans for expansion into other markets? Are you familiar with what's happening with the Afrobeat scene, for example? So when I look at that scene and look at that generation, I feel like a lot of them are inspired by what's happening in hip-hop, and what's particularly with what you taught us about owning your own masters. So people like Burna Boy, who's just sold out Wembley Arena, what advice, number one, are you familiar with the scene? And number two, what advice would you have for this next generation of hip-hop coming out of Africa?
My thing for that next generation, I said, expand into movies and TV. That's what helped me. That's what helped me able to open my brands up to sell other products. Because you look at it, even if you're doing great in the music side, it's still entertainment. You got to make videos, so why not do TV and movies? That's going to open your brand up even bigger. And your sustainability, you know, I'm able to still be in the game 20 years later, still be relevant because of TV and movies. And so if you look at it right now, and that's what I'm focused. I just put out a movie I got the hook up to, which is the #1 urban comedy in America.
Wow.
Outsold so many great movies because of the fan base and because of what we've done in the past, and to be able to bring the millennials and the culture together, which was incredible. Us supporting our movies. You look at it like a Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther was a great movie. Spent a big budget in this movie, but at the end of the day, this is a movie that's owned by Disney. Mm-hmm. We only own 5% of the production in Hollywood. We're making all these great blockbuster movies, but it's none owned by African American or minorities. Asian or Hispanics. Like, we don't own anything. And so that's why we have to change that. And I say to those guys is, how you expand in music, then you have to diversify your portfolio. It all go together.
Yep.
So you're not really doing nothing different. You're just expanding to where if you make videos, you can make TV.
Yep.
You do TV, you can do movies. So you just have to think outside the box.
Yeah. So as I've been reading,
And we need to own it.
Yep.
We need to own our product. To be honest.
Yep. I've been doing a lot of reading and like watching a lot of the videos and stuff where you're talking, and I feel like you're the king of the blue oceans. And I don't know if you're familiar with the blue ocean strategy idea in terms of differentiating and at low costs initially, and then capturing uncontested marketplaces, and then making competition irrelevant. So if you don't mind, I'd love to, this article, I feel like you personify the idea of being the king of the blue oceans and doing that. What keeps you driven to do that? How do you identify trends? Do you have advisors? Is it through travel? Is it through your kids? How do you know what's hot?
Well, you know what? We have 3 generations in this house. You have my daughter, which is Symphony. You got Romeo, my son, and then me. You have a 3-headed monster, the best of all 3 worlds. And what we look at fashion, we look at lifestyle. We have a new TV show coming out. It's called The Miller Family Treasures. And we're about being successful. We like nice things, but we don't live for it. Mm-hmm. Those are not our family treasures. The love and to be able to go out and help other peoples and other cultures. And so we look at fashion. We take it from Europe to London to say, okay, even if we look at a tennis shoe, why none of us have created a Gucci or Versace or even a Nike? All those companies started from somewhere. We saying start small. So we created the Maniatis, which is a high-end, high-fashion, new drip sneaker. And I mean, we probably sell more tennis shoes than anybody in the world, and we started that business as an online business. And what we've done, we said, so nobody has took the leopard and mixed it with loud colors. And when we did that, I mean, it just changed the game. We created a whole brand from just being different and unique. I tell people all the time, no idea is a whack idea.
Right.
And it's never a loss for us. It's a lesson. So everything we do, we learn and get better. And people don't realize a lot of the big companies, they make a lot of mistakes, but we're not attaching it to nothing so they can start over and rebuild. We have to stop looking down on each other to create, great people. We have to give them chances to get it together and figure it out. And so that's basically what we do. We like, you know what? We're going to try. Do we look at, like with my daughter, she looks at the whole fashion sense of putting all these different pieces together. Her thing is no days off.
No
and
days
then
off?
Romeo thing is God got us. God got me. And then, with me, it's like we all we got. So we mix all that up together, and I feel like, we got everything covered. We got the females covered.
Yep.
We got this generation covered, and we got the bosses covered with me. So, I mean, we all just bring our ideas together and bring them to life. But with the tennis shoes and the clothing, what we have created with the Maniatis, I mean, we the Bugatti of shoes. we done created an incredible brand because we mix leopard, which is hot, and put it with the reds, the orange, the lime.
You got those Wakanda shoes.
Yes, it's never been done.
Yeah.
But now everybody is trying it. Now
Yeah.
we even seeing like Nike and these other brands that are huge trying to knock our styles off when, you know, people didn't realize that we was on to something. Like everybody know now. So I got people hitting me up on my social media, Nike trying to copy your leopard stuff now. I'm like, well, you know,
so
it's enough for all of us.
I look forward to, so I don't know if you're familiar with StockX. So the sneaker, the value of sneakers, like almost like art, has just gone crazy in terms of the value of them. So in terms of like changing mindsets, in terms of the sneaker piece, do you have any thoughts around how the sneakers may help to educate young people around looking at things as assets rather than just being focused, like you said, on materialism?
Oh yeah, no. The thing about what makes the sneaker thing incredible for us, and I think for this generation, they respect it more because think about it, they go into the stores. We all the sneakerheads buying sneakers.
Yeah.
They know now we can own this. We could actually make it ourselves. And they didn't understand that at first. Like, we can actually create this, design this, and make this ourselves. So I think that's the thing that's mind-blowing for them now, saying, man, you know what? Team them could be the next Nike. This the way Nike started. Nike blew up once they got Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, so that was a company probably started in somebody's garage with an idea.
It's deep.
And so now this culture and this generation of millennials, they see that we can actually do this.
Yeah.
And things are changing now with the times. People want stuff delivered to them. So, you know, they want their food delivered, they want their clothes delivered. Now they don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
They want movies. I mean, if you look at what we've done, what I got the hookup to, which is incredible. The reason why it's incredible, you know how many people, they don't want to go to the movie theaters now. They want everything on their phone. They want to get it now. They want to see that movie, and all they want to do is download it.
Yeah. I was talking to my godchildren about that, and they like, we don't watch TV because they just on their iPads or everything's mobile now. So, so they want it when they want it. They want it downloaded to them to see it on the go. Phenomenal. So the other question I had for you was around, so I don't know if you saw some of the conversation around African Americans versus British in terms of the concern that there were a number of British people coming over to kind of take roles from African Americans in Hollywood. And we recently had a conversation in the UK where it was about actually opening up the pool, so that actually just meant that there was more opportunity for the global diaspora. It'd be really good to understand what your thoughts are in terms of do you feel connected to the global diaspora in the Caribbean, Africa, the UK, and further afield? Or do you feel that it's still quite territorial in America based on the idea of other...
No. I feel like we need to open that up to talented people. Yeah. And we need those opportunities. I mean, we have a lot of great people coming over here, talent. And, I think vice versa, and even Americans going to other countries, you know, to get jobs and get opportunities.
Yep.
You know what, to be honest with you, I'm happy for it. To be honest, we need it. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's a lot of talent around the world, and that's why we have to own these companies so we can actually open those doors of opportunity for our people.
Okay. Cool. And then in terms of, so I saw one of your other ventures is the rum. So, you know, I'm in Barbados right now, so that's close to my heart. Tell me a bit about how that came about and what inspired your launch into the Sugar Skull rum.
Yeah, so my thing was I wanted something more sexy and something more like smooth and has like an islander type of feel, because everything is more more dark, and I was just like, I wanted something that you could celebrate with. So that's where the Sugar Skull rum came. It's all about celebration, and I feel like having the best rum and having a good taste to it, it's a game changer. It has been a game changer for us.
Yeah. Awesome. And the other thing I'd like to ask you around is intellectual property. So you have 1,001 ideas, and especially as you have your, as you call it, your three-headed monster super team that helps to look at trends and come up with new ideas. In the world of the internet and the world of people essentially copying ideas, as a new entrepreneur, what do you think is more important, to have the tools to protect your ideas or just have lots of them?
Yeah, well, you could have a lot of ideas, but if you really believe in something, you need to trademark it.
Okay.
So once you trademark your idea, you don't have to worry about somebody else taking it.
Okay. And at what stage would you say you should think about trademarking your ideas?
Well, I think for me, as soon as I come up with an idea and I know that I want to use this, I want to turn this into a brand, then you need to trademark it. If it's just at the beginning stage of an idea, you're not too sure about it, but I want to actually put this on some product. I'm going to actually put this on social media or let other people know about it. Then before you do that, you should trademark it before somebody else take it.
Okay. And so the last couple of questions I wanted to ask you were, in terms of times when you've had challenging moments in terms of your business, what were the things that you did in order to get back up? So I know you talk about never giving up, but were there certain things or tools or skills you used to lift you back up when you were down that you could?
Yeah, so you got to realize adversity comes with being successful. People are not going to believe in you. Things are not going to work out. People are going to hate on you. It's you have to stay focused and to get back up. Even if you take a loss, use it as a lesson. It could be financial. It could be spiritual. It could be mentally. You have to realize what's the end goal. So that's what keeps me getting up. And I always realize if you're putting the work in, and if you understand knowledge and education is more important than money. With the knowledge and the wisdom, the money don't come. Yeah. Some people only work for the money. Don't work for the money. Be passionate about what you believe in your dreams, and you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. So you're going to always be able to get through the storm and get back up if you fall. I tell people, it don't matter. If you crawling across that finish line, it's a marathon. Keep going. Yeah. You don't have to be able to walk or run all the time. It might take you longer. Like, look at us with Rap Snatch. It took us 20 years. People was laughing at us. So now they're not laughing no more. They're looking at us like, oh, those guys are geniuses. Yeah. Who would ever thought to put some hip-hop artists on the bag, and who would have the biggest hip-hop stars in the world right now on the bag? We have from the Migos to Cardi B. I mean, we're setting trends. But it all started from a little idea. And it looked like, even when we went to people to try to get investors, nobody believed. So we put our own money, kept putting a little bit, till we knew one day it's going to happen. I tell anybody, when you're going through those trials and tribulations, put your trust in God. Yep. You could get through anything.
Yep. Thank you so much. So my last question for you is, what is your superpower? And if you could have an opportunity to go back and speak to little Percy, what would be the 3 things you would say to him in terms of what you know now, so that he knows that the future is going to be bright?
People don't know what my superpower is. Faith. Having faith and trust in God. And if I could go back to speak to my young self, I say, you know what? Don't worry. Just take your time and keep going. There's no limit from there. You put God first, you work hard, you sacrifice, and stay committed and do the right thing, you will be all right. So you don't have to rush.
Awesome. I also believe in giving people their flowers when they're alive. So I just want to say thank you so much for being so gracious in such a short space of time, saying yes to this interview. I've learned from afar so much from you and what you've achieved. And just the mere fact that I mentioned to my godson that I'm having a call with Master P made him realize that anything is possible and like everything is in your reach. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.